Welcome back to the video, and in today's video, we are going to be doing a very requested video of my most hated, but my least favorite player on every single team. The player that I hate the most on every single NFL team, both offense and defense. If you guys are new and you like the content, please sure to subscribe and like this video. We are currently at, I think it's 373 subscribers, so we are on the road to 400. So if you are new and you like the content, please sure to subscribe. So, I asked on my most favorite player, most favorite player in every single team, if this can get 5 likes, I would do my most hated. It did get 5 likes, so I'm doing my most hated. Thank you guys for all the support on that video. It reached like 50 views, had some comments. I really appreciate that. Let's see if we can get another 5 likes on this video, and then I'll do something similar to this kind of thing. But the last one, I had 1 tier. This time I have 4 tiers because with hated players, it's hard because there is some teams where I don't really hate any players, but I have to put one person on here. So at the top of the I barely hate them. Like these are people that okay, they don't really have they don't have any players that I hate on the team. But if I had to put someone, I guess I put them. Next up is I dislike them, which means I don't hate them because I just hate the strong word. I don't hate them, but I don't like them. And then we have I hate them, and then they are garbage, garbage personality, garbage player. I hate them, but extremely hate them. So let's get into the tiers. And the first team you're gonna be rating is the Cardinals. I'm gonna say Kyler Murray here, and I would say I hate them. Kyler is just annoying. Kyler always complains to his coach, always complains to the media, always makes some interesting posts on social media that just make him more like you guys can hate them kind of thing. But I can't say he's garbage. But overall, Kyler's personality and sometimes the way he is, how he gets injured, and how he always talks and stuff like that. It's a very hated personality. I'm gonna say I hate them. Next up, we have the Falcons. This is kind of hard because I don't really hate any. I guess Marcus Mariota, and I would say I dislike him, but I don't hate them. He's just nothing. Like at this point, I don't even know why I dislike him because why is he a starting quarterback anymore? He should be gone. He should just be out of this existence. He should be out of the Falcons organization. And last year, it just dawned on me why did they not start Desmond Ridder sooner when they realized how bad the Falcons were actually going to be and how mediocre Marcus Mariota was? I mean, he's awful. And honestly, this isn't a personality thing, but he does just give me those vibes of someone I just dislike, in my opinion. That's kind of a weird thing to say, but I would say that. Next up, we have the Ravens. This is another hard one for me because I don't really hate many people on this team. I don't. And I actually really enjoy this team. If I had to put someone on here, I actually really enjoy watching the Ravens. I think that their whole team's super chill. So, I'll just say, because of how mediocre he's been, I'm gonna go Patrick Quinn. Wait, is that his name? Is that even his name? Patrick Queen. I said Patrick Quinn. Queen. I'm gonna say I barely hate them because I actually do really enjoy watching their team, and I think all their players. There's no player that I really do hate over much than all the other players. So I guess I'll put Patrick Queen on there. Next up, we have the Bills. I mean, this is such a nice team as well, and a team that really I don't hate anybody there. I really don't. I think they have a whole nice fan base, and I think none of their players are that bad. I mean, I can't even think of somebody I I I don't even know. I can't say anybody. Who do I say here? I'm gonna go Matt Milano, and I'm gonna put him. I dislike them, but I don't hate them because Matt Milano is so incredibly good. The thing is, he gets under your skin a little bit, and that's why, as a fan, when I play the Bills, I can respect him, but I don't like him because he gets under players' skins, and he is a really good linebacker. So this is just more me being mad about how good he is, but. Yeah, I mean, I think I dislike him, but I don't hate him. He's a good player. It's just he does get under players' skins in game. Next up, we have the Panthers. This is easy. This is gonna be Sam Darnold, and I hate him. Sam is just annoying at this point. He goes to the Jets, he does terrible. He gets traded to the Panthers. He looks good, then he looks terrible, and he goes. And once Baker goes to the Rams, he comes back in. He plays good, then he sucks again. He is such a weird trajectory. Now, honestly, he is so garbage as a person, everything like that. I mean, he's not even that bad of a person. It's just I have no like I have no trust in him anymore, so I can just say I hate him because at this point I don't know why he's in the league. Next up, we have the Bears. Again, it's kind of hard to think of someone because their team really doesn't have anybody. It's kind of just like I'm gonna go with what was that guy's name? There was a guy that just randomly punched somebody against the New Orleans Saints. That I very very disliked. Is it Wims? I think it's Wims. Yeah, I hate him. He. Well, if I remember him, I remember he like got mad at a Saints player and he just started punching him and he got ejected or something like that. I'm not gonna say they were garbage because I don't really know much about them. We'll hear about it. They are garbage, and actually, the they are garbage is actually right next. Bengals. Eli Apple. Garbage. Always post on Twitter about how good he is. Honestly, the Bengals organization, the Bengals mayor being like, not the Bengals mayor. Wait, it was the Chiefs mayor. Or what's the Bengals mayor? Oh, wait, it was, no. It was the Bengals mayor. Saying like Arrowhead, Burrowhead. Yeah. But the Bengals team is kind of interesting. I like some of their pieces, but they have some players that are kind of chatty. And yeah, Apple's just a great demonstration about him. He always talks about other players' teams, always trash talks players on social media. And also, he's always like, oh, I'm the best corner in the league. And then he absolutely gets crushed. And he's not even that good. It's just, he talks so much and he's garbage. I hate him so much. Next we have the Browns. They're garbage. I have another one. It's Deshaun Watson, and it's simple as that. I don't really have to explain anymore. We saw his thing in court. We saw what he did to people, and we don't like him anymore. So he's garbage. Uh, Next up we have Dak. Um, Sorry, I'm gonna say the Cowboys, but I think I go with the Cowboys here, and I go with. I'm gonna go with Zeke. I just like him, but I don't hate him. I can respect his game, but overall, he always seems like the teammate or the player that's always kind of nitpicky and like I never really enjoyed watching him. And I think that like he's made some bad decisions. He's gotten some fines. He's made some bad decisions in life, and I think I guess I put him there. It's not that bad, but it's like I dislike him. The Broncos, I can appreciate Russell Wilson, but in my opinion, I hate him because he was on the Seahawks. He gave us trouble for years. And again, I'm a Niners fan, so it makes sense, but I still hate him. And I always will because he's a good quarterback, but he's also kind of like he's just like the Broncos country let's ride stuff. Like he's weird. I gotta put him in. I hate him though, just barely. The Lions. This is me quickly. I don't hate any of their players. I'm just gonna put them. I barely hate them. I couldn't even think of a player to tell you. I think their whole team is so incredibly nice, and I really enjoy watching them, and I actually want them to do well. So it's simple as that. Next we have the Packers. Aaron Rodgers, I would say, is I hate them. I'm not saying that he's garbage. I just think he's always making some antics in the offseason. He's always making teams like the Packers, stuff like that, want to know how good he is. And he's always trying to make them pay. It's just a little gimmick that he does, and it's super annoying to me, especially the fan. Like on social media, like how are we meant to know what he's gonna do because he hides for half of the offseason before he actually makes his decisions. So I hate him for that. Next up, we have the Texans. I mean, I can't really hate any of their players because their team just kind of sucks. Like, they're not good anywhere. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Davis Mills, and I'm gonna say I dislike him because I thought Davis was actually really, really good this year. Well, not really good, but I thought he was gonna be better than he was, and that kind of messed up my prediction. So I'm gonna say I don't like you. Uh, Next up we have the Colts. This one's again hard. Like I don't really know who to go with here. I don't really care about any of their players. I think they're all fine with me. I actually quite like all their players. I mean, even Matt Ryan, we know how you know give him a chance, stuff like that. I'm gonna say I barely hate them. They're quite a chill team, and I actually really enjoy watching them. I know they're not that good, but again, they're quite humble about it. Next up, we have the Jaguars, and again, this is hard. They don't have a lot of bad players. I feel like they have one guy that's quite talks a lot. I'm trying to think of who it is though. Um, I'm not allowed to do coaches. You guys want me to rank the coaches based on how much I like them and hate them? Give me 5 likes and I will do that. Absolutely, that'd be fun, funny video. But otherwise, I mean, Jaguars again. I don't hate any of their players. Next up, we have the Chiefs. For me, it is. this is Patrick Mahomes, and I dislike him, but I don't hate him because he wins a lot. And I know that's just me being mad that the Chiefs beat the Niners, and I know that. But he always wins. He always cheers. Also, his family's quite like what's it called? What's the word? His family's quite just not good, and his family says a lot of stuff, and I don't really want to talk about his family over him, but that also kind of concludes. So I'm just gonna say I dislike him, but I don't hate him. Next up, we have the Chargers. Ooh, this is another hard one. I really don't know where to go with the Chargers here. I really don't hate any of their players. I think they're fine. I don't hate any of them though. Like I'm trying to think of a Chargers player that I actually do hate. You know what? I dislike Khalil Mack. I don't really like Khalil Mack. I can respect him as a player, but there's something about him that I always have just not felt like I disliked him because maybe it's just the way he plays, maybe how physical he is, but I always seem to dislike him a little bit. Next up, we have the Los Angeles Rams. I mean, this could go on forever, but in my opinion, this is Jalen Rams, and I think they're garbage. I can appreciate Jalen's game. I think he is one of the best corners, but the amount of trash talk he does to players, and especially recently, he's done so much trash talk and then got burnt. I mean, we could do that with Stephon Diggs and Jalen Ramsey this year in the first week of the season. Stephon Diggs just torched Jalen Ramsey, and he had nothing to say about it. So for Jalen, I mean, he trash talks every single player, and at this point, he's out of his prime, so he's kind of staying quiet now and he should. I think he's garbage. I think he's a garbage player, personality wise. I get he's trying to get in people's heads, but there's a point where it gets a little excessive, and it's like you gotta stop doing that. Next up, we have the Raiders, and honestly, the coaching staff for getting rid of Derek Carr. But um, Darren Waller, I dislike because he's always injured and he's never healthy, and I can't take him in fantasy ever because I don't trust him. So, Derek, if you're watching this, sorry, Darren, if you're watching this, which I doubt you are, but just stay healthy, please. That would be nice, wouldn't it be? Next up, we have the Dolphins. I mean, this list is gonna go on. I'm kidding. It won't go on for too long, but I don't really like any of their players. I think Tua's going to be it here. It's another dislike, I think. I don't mind Tua, but there's some times where he's always injured, sometimes where he talks a lot, sometimes where he's got that like style of play that you can tell it's like a hated player possibly. So I'm not going to say I totally hate them, but I definitely don't barely hate them. Next up, we have the Vikings. Now, this is kind of hard because Vikings are another team which I actually don't mind any of their players. Um, I'm trying to think if any of the players went to like jail or something like that because that can make them. I barely hate any of the. I'm gonna be honest. I barely hate any of the what's it called, the Vikings. I don't really. I don't hate any of them. They're pretty cool with me. Next up are the Patriots. Bill Belichick. I don't know. It just always wins. You know what? I hate Mac Jones because him doing so well in the first season and then having that bad of a season and not Bradley Zappi or whatever his name is starting over him has made me hate him because of how bad of a sophomore year that he actually had. So I kind of hate him for that. I'm not going to lie to you. Saints, this is going to go on and on. I hate the Saints players. I hate them. CJ Gardner Johnson, I did not like when he was the Saints, and we can go to Philly soon and we'll talk about him later. Didn't like CJ. Didn't really like Tyrann Mathieu ever. Michael Thomas, it's got Michael Thomas, and Michael Thomas is just garbage. I feel like every single Saints player is so hateable. I mean, now that Derek Carr is at the Saints, I don't hate them as much, but Michael Thomas, I hate him. He always gets injured. He's a crybaby, whatever. Alvin Kamara did some stuff off the field, maybe hate them as well. Who else? Defensively, Tyrann Mathieu, Marshawn Lattimore, C.J. Gardner Johnson, Marshall Jenkins, and the list goes on and on. I really do hate a lot of the Saints players. I think Michael Thomas is garbage though. Next up, we have the Giants. Yeah, I barely hate any of the Giants players. They're such a cool. With how much they've been losing and now them winning, I'm proud of them, and I don't hate any of their players, if I'm being realistic. I used to hate Saquon a little bit because he was like always just terrible, but now he's starting to be good, so I barely hate him. Next up, we have the Jets, Zach Wilson, and I think he's just garbage. As a player, but also as a person, with the whole case with the bombs and stuff like that. I'm not gonna really go into that. I'm just saying that, but I think he's garbage. I think he's I think he doesn't deserve to be in the league. I don't think he's good. and I don't think his personality is that good either. And I think we can just talk about the Eagles. C.J. Gardner Johnson, I hate him. I don't really say he's garbage. Again, I can appreciate his talent, but as a player, I mean, I do hate him. I mean, against a player like he's had some stuff in the off season where he's been like punching some people, some off field stuff, and even in game he's made some bad decisions which got him ejected. So overall, based on all those conclusions, I'm just gonna say I hate him. Next up, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is hard again. I don't really hate many of their players. I mean, you know what? I dislike Najee Harris because he had such a good freshman year, and then his sophomore year was terrible. It's kind of similar to Mac Jones, except I think I hate Mac Jones a bit more than Najee. I think Najee, he's super dislikable because of how bad he played the sophomore year. I mean, he runs like he has concrete bricks in his shoes. He's so incredibly slow. If he's trying to be Jerome Bettis, you're not doing a good job, and you need to put in some muscle then. The Seahawks, I mean, I hate most of their players. Yeah, like I know DK Metcalf can get under your skin, but I actually really enjoy watching him. I'm gonna say Jamal Adams, and I say I hate Jamal Adams because I don't mind Jamal Adams. It's just I don't like the Seahawks, and I'm always not gonna look at the players. Cardinals, I put them on to hate them. Seahawks, I put them on to hate them because I'm a Niners fan. It's just simply me being biased in that situation because I hate them players because I've always seen them, I've always heard of them, I've always been next to them in the Niners franchises. And the Niners, I barely hate them because they're my team, and I really enjoy watching all them play. You could say whoever you want, and I'm really just gonna ignore you. The Bucks. There's some players here for sure. Fournette, don't really like him. Um, Mike Evans, he has some attitude issues. Um, I'm gonna go with Mike Evans here. I'm gonna say I dislike him because I can appreciate him as a player. I actually really like how Mike Evans plays as a player, but there are some scenarios where he is quite hateable because he does make some bad decisions of like pushing people, getting ejected, and just getting into huge temper tantrums. For that reason, I dislike him. And our last two teams, we have the Tennessee Titans, and this is another hard one. I'm gonna say Robert Woods. I'm gonna say Robert Woods. I'm gonna say I hate him because again he was on the Rams. I'm being biased here, but Robert Woods, I can already tell he's a great player, and I really enjoy personality wise. But him just being next to our club has got to get me there. And last but not least, we have the Washington football team. I know Carson Wentz got cut, but I'm gonna say Carson Wentz. And I think he's garbage. He has not been good anywhere in his career except for when he was with the Eagles. After he left the Eagles, he was terrible, and he has not been good since. And he should not have a contract anymore. And that's the end of my tier list of my least favorite player on every single NFL team. 5 likes, and I will do coaches on if I like them or not. And I hope you guys are all having a great day. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.